Hi guys, so today I'm back with an update. Now, oh my gosh, I know it's been ages since I've been regularly on YouTube, and this video is kind of to explain where I've been, what's been going on. Oh my gosh, a lot's happened. I'll just get right into it. But yeah, first I just wanted to apologise for being AWOL, but hopefully by the end of this video you'll understand, as well as with the title that's giving it away. So yeah, I've moved out. So basically, beginning of March till now has been like a massive whirlwind, like life-changing. So at the beginning of March, a article came out about me and my video on pornography and the addiction that I suffered, as well as the sexual abuse, which was kind of like the start of my story to, you know, how I gave my life to Christ and where I am today. Thank Jesus. And so that story, I feel like because the video got so much attention, like positive attention online, basically a media company approached me quite a while ago, like ages ago. So I knew the article was coming out, but I didn't know when. So the article came out, I think 8th of March in the Daily Mail, and then it was also on the Metro, then it was also in the Mail Online, no, sorry, Daily Mail obviously. It was in the Mirror, so, and it was also in some newspapers, but I never saw it in newspapers myself, and then it just spread, so it literally went like kind of global, and then it was in a lot of African newspapers and stuff. And at the time it was kind of hard because, like, as well as dealing with, you know, people around me who were really supportive, I had to kind of deal with like mass attention, and there were a lot of people. Obviously there's always going to be a backlash, and I had really good friends and family members who like warned me, and they were like, sorry, there's a hair on my arm. They were like, obviously there's going to be a backlash, it's a taboo topic, no, like a lot of people don't talk about it, a lot of people choose not to talk about it on purpose, and you know, especially for a black African woman, you know, it's something that people just don't address. And I mean, I knew that, but I didn't fully. I feel like because the video came out such a long time ago, I feel like all of us on the channel had kind of gotten over it, and then it came out again, and I was just like, great, I have to go through this again. And at first it was really hard, especially to deal with how Nigerians worldwide were taking it. But then I had a lot of good friends around me, and I was watching a lot of sermons, and there was one sermon that I was watching by a guy I think called Todd White. And this guy, like, he's amazing. Like, he was like a drug addict. Like, I think he was on just cocaine like for years, and then he gave his life to Christ, and he's just like on fire for Christ. And he was talking about how you should never feel bad for doing something for God, because once you start compromising spreading the message of God or doing God's work for your own self-respect and putting your own respect first before God, that's when you become more like a Pharisee, because the Pharisees were the ones who cared about their reputation, they cared about how they looked in the public, and everything they did was for outside glory. And you know, as Jesus said, the inside of their cup was dirty, and everything going on in the inside was bad. And I feel like that really spoke to me, because it was like, I'm not doing this out of my own will. I would have never, ever, ever of my own choice chosen to do that video, ever. Like, why would anyone do that? And I think that was very clear in the video anyway. And it's so weird how I'm doing it in the same similar setup, like with a camera in front of my window, how it was, and then me sitting on my bed, similar to that video. Anyways, yeah, I would have never chosen to do it, and I feel like if I was to put my own self-respect first, I would never said yes to it being in newspapers. I would never said yes to doing the video in the first place. And so I was just like, you know what, I'm actually doing God's work. Like, this has never been about me, this has never been about exposure, this has always been about God. Like, no one would ever choose to put this on such a public platform without having something pushing them to do it, and I really felt like God was leading me to do that. So that came out, and so with that philosophy, or with that idea, and with that knowledge that this is for God, if God is for me, who can be against me, and having all of that backing me, I kind of, when all the hateful comments or whatever, I didn't really see any really myself, but I knew they were out there, obviously, naturally, especially from Africans. When they were coming against me, I was just like, you know what, no. Like, I'm actually doing my work for Dad. Like, my testimony has reached 200,000 people, and it's still reaching even more people online. What have you done for God? Like, literally, what have you done to spread God's message? Or what have you done that's actually benefited other people more than yourself? And a lot of people who come against you, especially if you're doing something that's a little bit different, you know, people don't like change, people don't like something that's different. A lot of people who like to stick to the status quo, you find out that you haven't really done anything, have you? You haven't done anything to either help others or to spread a message or to spread God's work. Like, what have you done that's more than yourself? A lot of people don't have anything to actually, they have nothing to name that they can say, oh, okay, I've helped these many people, and you know, I've set time aside to help this amount of people. Like, you haven't actually done anything. So the fact that you're coming on to someone who's actually doing something for, especially for children, like, what I'm doing isn't for adults. I think in my head, I think children who are watching pornography, or who've been sexually abused or have been molested, and they're looking to this pornography as some sort of release. That's who I think of. And the fact that I've been able to reach children, because as soon as you can reach children when they're young, like, that's it. Like, you've sown a seed that's going to go with them to when they're adults, and they can kind of realize that there's a problem and stop it in the bud before it becomes a bigger problem once they age. So for me, I'm happy, because it's like, I never ever thought I would ever be able to reach that amount of people, one, at this age, or generally ever, because when I was growing up in a really strict church, I always thought to myself, I'm never going to be able to spread God's message. Like, I'm just not that kind of person. And the fact that I've been able to do that, and God's been able to do it so quickly as well, like, literally, if you think about how long it takes to upload a video, like in an hour, and I've reached like 500,000 people essentially with something God led me to do within an hour. Like, that's scary, and I have the rest of my life to live, and I'm really excited about how much God's gonna help me to help others, just with the amount of time I still have. So yeah, so that all happened, and then after that, I was just like, I felt led to kind of start a new life. I really felt like March was like the catalyst of, Osa, you can have a brand new life. Like, I'm not saying my old life is dead, but what I mean is have the life I've always dreamed about and have something fresh. And so I was just like, you know what, I really feel like I'm being led to start an independent life and move out. And so it was a really quick decision. Like, it was so quick. Like, I feel like I didn't make it in the way that most people make it, like, you know, they plan ahead and stuff. I was just like, you know what, God's leading me to do this, I'm gonna do it. So when did I move out? 2 weeks into March, so mid-March, not even mid-March, mid-March I moved out, and now I'm living with 2 flatmates who are my friends, and this is my room. I feel like that was such an anticlimax, right? I'm just like, yes, I've moved out and this is it. But yeah, that is literally it. So yeah, it's really weird, because at first I was just like, God, how am I going to actually afford to move out? And how am I going to be able to afford a lifestyle and stuff? And it's weird because opportunities just started coming and rolling through. And first, I mean, it's weird. It wasn't really in a way of money, but it was almost like it was a sign that God was with me, and it was a sign that my life had really changed. So after Daily Mail, after all those newspaper articles, then I had the Sky News thing, and I was just like, you know what, this is like ridiculously huge. Like, as much as I love my old channel, like, nothing this big ever happened on my old channel. And that's not to say, oh, this is an opportunity for me, but it's almost like a glory to God, because it's like God asked me to start this channel, and with all the articles and with all the press and with all the TV interviews, it's kind of like God was just like, this is what I can do now. Yeah, you had your old channel, but this is what I can do. And that's what made me excited about it. So yeah, then I had the Sky thing, and then my internship. I know on my last life update I told you guys about a social media internship that I was doing with a beauty company, and that ended end of February. Oh my gosh, that's so weird. Like, the time between ending my internship and then being in all of the press articles and then now moving out, like, it's just actually really freaky. Like, it's literally like a 2-week difference, because I ended my internship end of February, and then the article came out 8th of March, and then I moved out and got my own place, like, within a few weeks. It's like, oh my gosh, just, like, wow. It's weird because I can't even remember when my internship ended, because I feel like it was such a long time ago, but it wasn't. It was literally the end of February. Like, that, God just moves so quickly. But anyway, yeah, so it's been amazing. It's literally a whirlwind, and that's not to say I haven't been stressed, and I'm not those Christians who's like, yeah, everything's been amazing. There have been times when I've been crying myself to sleep, because I was like, God, how am I? You're saying I should move out, you're saying I should do all of this stuff and have a life on my own, but how am I going to afford it? And then I got a call from my boss at my social media internship, and she offered me a job, and I was just like, what? And she offered me the job of doing the social media stuff. So obviously that means like their blog posts, their Facebook posts, their Twitter, what else do they have? Yeah, so all of that, like basically their social media platforms. So I manage all of that, and then yeah, it means I can do it all on my tablet or my laptop, and I can just sit at home and make sure they're done, and then I just call in when it's done. And yeah, like, to be honest, for a long time I really felt like a 9-to-5 was never for me, because I would apply to so many 9-to-5, like just normal jobs, and I would get interviews and then I would just not get the job. And when I mean I'm sure I've applied for at least 400 jobs. I mean 400 jobs, like I was relentless. And there was a point where I was just like, you know, maybe this is not happening for a reason, maybe this just isn't for me. And that's when I was just like, okay, God, I'm going to wait on you, but I need something. And I was getting really impatient, I was getting so upset, and I was really worried. And I know the Bible says you shouldn't, and I think I shouldn't have, because in hindsight he provided anyway. But yeah, so I got this job, and yeah, it means I can work from home, and it means I can vlog and do my YouTube videos and my blog posts and stuff. And yeah, so I don't know if there's anything else I need to tell you. Yeah, that's basically it. So that's why I haven't been around for a while, because I moved and it was just a lot. Like, it's still a lot. Like, I keep on saying like, sorry, my room still needs a bit more organisation and stuff. And I don't know if you want me to, I really don't think that you do, but if you want me to, I will do like a room tour, or a room, or like a homeware haul. Yeah, I'm thinking to kind of move again in a couple of months' time, just to like a nicer area. I don't know, I want to live like by a station and by big parks and stuff, and where I live right now isn't really that. I live in East London at the moment, but I really want to, yeah, I want to live close to the station and just closer to like central, just move a bit more into London. But yeah, so we'll see what God does in a few months. But yeah, so that's pretty much everything that's happened. I will be updating you as the months go on about how things are going, and yeah, so that's basically it. Yeah, so I hope that you've enjoyed the video. I hope you've been encouraged as well. Like, if this can happen to me, it can happen to you as well. Like, I'm not saying my life is perfect, but God is really moving in my life, and I feel like He wants to shock me. He really wants to be like, this is the box you've had me in for 23 years about all the stuff you've been taught that I can do, and I want to blow that box up to shreds and show you what I can really do, like my majesty. And yeah, He's really doing that. So I'm learning slowly but surely. But yeah, so I may do a blog post as well about me moving out and the journey and stuff. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I kind of have the life that I've always wanted to have. Like, when I was a kid, I used to dream about moving out, and I used to dream about kind of being like Carrie Bradshaw and like being freelance and working from home, and now that's kind of what I do. So yeah, I'm just kind of trying to be more grateful and trying to appreciate what I do have, even though sometimes it's hard, because I'm like, I have this vision of, you know, like living in Chelsea and having this perfect life, and it's not there yet, but it's getting there. And I'm only 23, and for what I'm doing at this age, it's pretty cool. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I know I've been waffling, and if you have, then subscribe, comment below, sorry. Comment below as well if you have any questions or you want to say something, and like the video, thumbs up, and favourite as well. And I will have a video out next week. I don't know what day I think this comes out on Thursday, so I'll have a video on Tuesday. And yeah, videos should be returning back to normal pretty much. So if you have any video requests as well, then put them down below. And yeah, follow me on Snapchat too. Bye guys.